Welcome to In the Green Room. Today we're with Julio Vaqueiro, weekend anchor for Noticias Telemundo. So for those of you that don't know your story, can you share a little bit, some highlights about how you got here and are now part of the Telemundo family?
Sure. So I was born and raised in Mexico. I'm a journalist. I knew I wanted to become a journalist since I was very young. And I studied journalism in Mexico City. Then I landed in Rojo Vivo as a national correspondent for El Rojo Vivo. And then I moved to LA. I became the local anchor in LA for the local station. And then Luis Fernandez invited me to become the weekend anchor for the network. That's a time period of about 10 years. And it's very interesting because during that same period, Noticias Telemundo has changed a lot. The whole company has evolved. When I started, we were a distant second place, and now in Noticias we've become a much more powerful source of information for a lot of Hispanic families.
So can you walk us through your routine, how you get ready for the newscast?
Yes.
How do you manage to stay informed at all times?
I wake up at 6 in the morning, and I try to, first thing I do to see my Twitter account, read the newspapers, get ready for the morning call. That's how we call this conference call, where everyone in the news department joins and we discuss the news, what's going on, and we basically make the decisions of what's important and what's worth putting in a newscast. We get ready for the rest of the day. I try to get involved and write as much as I can and read a lot before the newscast and write what I'm going to be saying on air.
What would you say is a favorite part of your job?
When I get to go to the streets and meet new people and learn their stories and being able to tell those stories in our newscast, I think that's what I really enjoy the most.
Is there a specific kind of story or topic that moves you and that you identify as your favorite kind of story to cover?
I can tell you that what I do like is being where the news is happening. So whatever the topic is, I basically feel this need of covering it and reading about it and learning more about what's going on in the moment. So I like breaking news and being where things are going on.
Looking back on your career, are there any particular stories that stand out to you?
Probably the first one that comes to my mind is what happened last year in the border, and these family separations and some kids going into detention centers. It was really, really impactful to see these families being separated. The images were it was very difficult to see. And I think it's very complicated to stay unmoved after you see these stories and hear those testimonies from people that are trying to find a better future. They only find more difficulties once they get here.
And if we can look a little bit further ahead, can you identify any priority plans for Noticias in 2019?
You know, our slogan is las cosas como son, saying it as it is, and we always think about that. The whole day we're focused on saying things as they are. And also Noticias Telemundo has this big project of launching this newscast, online newscast. So that's also a big thing.
In English,
that's coming up.
Right?
Yes, in English.
That's going to be a market change.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I also know you have a podcast.
Yes.
Estuve Ahí. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I really enjoy it because I told you I wanted to become a journalist since I was little, but I wanted to become a journalist that does radio. So now I'm doing TV and I love it, but what I always wanted to do was radio. So this is a great experience for me, a great opportunity. So this is a way to go in depth with certain stories and talk to the reporters and see what they learned and what they saw that they couldn't put on the newscast, and also how specific news
put together, right?
Exactly, how it gets put together and how they feel about it and how the news impacted them. And so I think it's a great way to learn more about what's going on behind cameras with the big news of the day.
And on a lighter note, It's the new year. Did you make any New Year resolutions that you're going to be trying to keep up with?
No, well, yeah, I always end up doing the same resolutions. Try to do more exercise, eat more healthy, and also I think I want to write more. So I think that when you write, you get to analyze things and think about things in a much deeper way. So I hope I can get to do that.
Well, we look forward to hopefully reading some of it.
I hope so too. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Julio, and we look forward to continue seeing you on Noticias Telemundo.
Thank you very much.